Hi Leo, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with your reading, what you need to know for January. The first card that we have out is Four of Wands and Six of Swords. Looks like something's settling down and that things are moving forward. Okay, Six of Swords is moving into Six of Cups. There's something very old and familiar that you're moving in the direction of. Okay, Leo, in the beginning of January, there can be a get-together that's happening. What this can also mean is that I feel almost like there's a high of some sort and then coming down from that. This can mean an accomplishment or an achievement or something that comes together, or it can be that something, it feels like something reaches what it's supposed to reach. And then having that Six of Swords feels like moving forward then, like the story continuing. And what are we moving towards but the Six of Cups? And so this can mean even that, like, I took care of things here, now I'm going to be going over there. And it can mean to, I feel like this is something needed to be established over here with the Four of Wands. And now that that's been done, or that's been achieved, or that's been completed, there's a movement into something else. But where you're going feels very reminiscent of your past, or very reminiscent and familiar in some way. Going in the direction of the Six of Cups can mean maybe there are people that you're going to be connecting with. These would be people that you already know. Or maybe this is going into a time that brings up nostalgia for you. And I'm also seeing too the Hierophant as well. And so this would feel like an old way of things, or like old traditions that you're connecting with, or old values, something like that that you're already familiar with. This doesn't feel like going into some type of culture or situation that is unknown or unfamiliar to you. This feels like moving into something that you already know and are familiar with, and there's some type of structure to it as well. Some of you can even be running into somebody that you knew in the past, and this would be somebody that I see as being like a powerful figure of some sort. And maybe even this can be you getting back to the basics of something, or getting back to the roots of something. But I wonder for some of you too, like, there are so many different ways that this can land. An example of Six of Cups in the Hierophant can be somebody that used to be a guiding force within your life. You can be reconnecting with them. It can be somebody that used to be an authority figure within your life that you're connecting with. It can be like an old way of doing things that you are going to be reconnecting with. And it feels like it's part of the journey forward is going back into something. And it can be some type of structure that you feel like is time to be getting back into that. It can even be a community that you're getting reintroduced to. Whatever it is, it's not something new. This would be something that you already know about or know of, or like some place that you've been before. I'm not seeing this be a foreign concept to you by any means. This looks like it's part of your healing path. I'm seeing the star clarifying the Hierophant. So this can be something where there's learning. Whatever the Hierophant is, it's going to be something that it's not something new that's being introduced, and also you would feel that this is a guiding force within your life. This would be something that has some type of authority that you would connect with, or it in some way connects with belief systems that you have, or that you have had, or that you've been taught before, that you've experienced before. Seeing Hierophant be clarified as the star, there's definitely going to be an element of healing to this, and you can feel as well like this is part of your purpose and part of your path that you are connecting with too. There can be something that's connected with like unknowns that are connected with healing, or connected with your life, the movement of things. It feels like something big that you're taking on here, or that you're connecting with. Some of you, this can also be a parent that you are seeing, or if this is a person, it can be someone that felt like that. But it doesn't only have to be a person. For some of you, this will be a person. For others of you, it's going to feel like some type of structure that you're familiar with. But you would see it as being a guiding force. This is something that would help you along your way. So regardless of what it is, that will be the feeling that's connected with it. And it feels like it's going to help take you through something. There's personal life healing that's happening here, personal life guidance, personal life direction that is connected with this. Like, for example, this can be somebody that is a teacher that you run into, or a guide for others that you run into. I'm definitely seeing you doing something that you want. We have Nine of Cups and we have Page of Wands. So this is the path. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to be doing. I am right where I want to be. This can mean too that some type of desired path is unfolding, some type of desired direction. It can be a desired project, a desired relationship. Having that Nine of Cups is connected with what you want, because this very much is reflective of your values and what you see as being worthwhile and something that represents something valuable to you. That's what's connected with this. Even if it's like a position or something, a way of doing things, a system, in architecture. So with that Nine of Cups and with this Page of Wands, I'm seeing you be on a path that you want to be on. Doing something that you want to be doing. Yeah, some of you, there's going to be people that you're connecting with, but it doesn't feel like people that you don't know. This feels like people that you do know. Some of you, there can be a celebration that's going on. I mean, we have Four of Wands, we have Six of Cups here, we have Three of Cups here. I definitely say that there's a reunion of some sort that's happening, or there can be a celebration of some sort that's happening. There can be somebody that you're working with again, somebody that you're collaborating with again, but I feel like there's something on an emotional level that's going on that's connecting this. Because this feels like with Six of Cups and Three of Cups, this would be somewhere where you go where it's definitely not a strange environment to you, but I'm seeing you arriving there. So I get the feeling that you haven't been there, that you're like coming from somewhere else to be there. So you have to have like some type of space between you and what this is that you are stepping into. But it's not just a foreign new situation, place, people. This is something that you know. And this is what you want. And this can even mean that things are getting on better terms than they had been before. It can mean that things are coming together. It can mean that things are calming down. What this can also mean too is that if there's been something going on within a relationship, it can mean that things are moving into a place of being reconciled. That can be part of this. Some of you may be reigniting something with someone. It feels like it's kind of the beginning of something that's happening, or like finally this thing can move forward. And I get this sense of things feeling nice, maybe in the way that they had before or in the past. Because I'm seeing something here that feels like, I think, emotional reciprocity. You could just also maybe be feeling seen, feeling like there's a familiarity here. It's that feeling of connecting with something or someone that feels comfortable because you know it, because you're familiar with it. Rather than having to like take on something new where you don't know it and there's a lot of learning that has to happen, this almost feels like falling back into some sort of groove. Just something that you know. Like riding a bike. Okay, and it also seems that something is getting squared away here too, because I am seeing Hanged Man, but it's coming out upright, which means that there has been some major epiphany here, and it also means things can move forward. Whatever needed to be seen, whatever needed to be understood, whatever needed to be realized, whatever was getting in the way, like that is not there anymore. The blocks are not there anymore. But it could have been some type of nebulous thing that was going on that now it's not. And also too, if something had been being delayed or put off or not executed, it is now being executed. So anything that wasn't happening because other things needed to happen, it feels like now is the time where all the things are happening. Hanged Man upright falling over. Three of Cups. A conclusion being arrived at. Something being realized, something being seen. I see Hanged Man upright as a very major epiphany, but this can be something on a very deep spiritual level that's being realized. And it has to do about something core, something very important. And this can be, too, in a big way, having to do with your values. And I think maybe what was even getting in the way of delaying, blocking something from like where you want it to be. But then with the Nine of Cups and the Page of Wands and the Three of Cups, I'm seeing something coming together that you feel very happy with. And it can even feel like maybe you were waiting on something to be happening, or it like wasn't time for it to be happening, but I almost get this feeling of something may have been delayed or obscured, or it wasn't time yet, or it wasn't seen yet, something like that, that now it's been achieved, it's been accomplished. What needs to be seen, understood, exposed, all of that now is. What needed to happen, it's now happened. I feel too like there's something that's really important that's connected with your own inner authority that's realized, and this can be too connected with what you want and what you believe in, and like a path that you want to be going down, and how you want to be playing something, this like character I think that you want to be playing within this too. What you want on a really deep level, on a way that really resonates with you. And there's something very familiar about all of this. It's not some new situation that you're being thrust into. This is a familiar situation, but that something important is happening within this, where it feels even like I feel like actually what ends up happening, if we could just sort of go to a very big picture and like beyond specifics, we're like zooming out further than that. I feel like the big picture here was what was getting in the way of things getting in the way for some reason of harmony being established, whatever that's going to look like for you. There's something here that's stabilizing. There's even a realization of like, this can be what stability feels like to you. This can be what harmony feels like to you, true harmony. This can be what you want within a relationship, what you want in your home life. It's going to be something that has to do with a foundation within your life, and something very important here that is now being realized. This can also be connected with, like, again, a big epiphany. There can be releases that have been involved in this, but I feel like whatever it is, it's by the end of the month, it has been a very important location you have like arrived at that. And I do feel like there's some deep spiritual undertone to this as well. So you can see something clearly, like beyond anything that would get in the way of you truly seeing what you need to see. And I do feel like part of this is what you want on a deeper level, that being part of this too, and saying, I'm going to take this on. This is what I want to be doing here. I feel even too like something comes together makes you realize that. There's something that looks right, maybe has you realizing that. With the Four of Wands, this is something that for all of us within our lives, this is something that we're involved in where we feel like there's a steady flow of energy in and out, where there's not a I'm getting depleted or I'm over giving. This is going to be something that feels like it stabilizes. So it's a very stable structure within your life. There's something that's connected with what you want and like a realization connected with that for you. And because of this happening, it feels like it allows you to move forward in the direction where you're kind of like, okay, this is the path that I want to be on, because you know what you want. Meaning, if you want, let's say, for example, if you want certain things within a relationship, or you want your home life to look a certain way, and you're like, wow, I'm realizing that this is what's important to me, that this holds weight for me, that this is what holds value for me. Like maybe you want I don't know, like maybe you want to be living in a place where there's like, it's not super noisy. This can be something that you're realizing. I think that it's more complex than this. I don't think that it's like that, but just an example to explain the energy. It can be a realization that you're having where you're like, if I don't have quiet when I'm trying to sleep, it's disruptive to the rest of everything else that I have going on in my life. So I know that in my home life, I need it to be quiet when I'm sleeping. And this is something not only that I want, but that holds immense value for me. I'm realizing that, and I'm realizing too that I'm the one that has the authority, me, to achieve that. It's going to be connected with what represents this feeling of harmony and stability for you. And before, maybe there was something going on where you were like, it's up to that, or it's up to this, it's not up to me. And now there can be something that's being realized about like you're actually the authority figure for moving these pieces around within your life. And I feel like something really important here is coming together where you're realizing that you're the Hierophant. It's not somebody else. It's not something else. It's not somebody else. It's not whatever. It's you. Because you're the one ultimately that even gives power to other things as well. That puts your belief in everything and anything that you do put your belief into or don't put your belief into, but it's you at the end of the day. Like you're the one that signs that. And so there can be something really important that's being realized about this. I think it's connected with the power that you truly do have, and something very important that's being realized. And I think that this impacts your way of living as well. And there's going to be a time too where the way that you experience this is that, like, it's almost like if you've been looking for something, like I'm looking for a feeling or I'm looking for a visual, it feels like whatever this is, something comes up for you. And it's like, that's it. That's the thing. I'm having this moment here where I'm realizing that's what I want. Like something represents, something resonates within you, and it feels like finally I have like glued it down. It's not this nebulous thing anymore. I really understand this, and now I can move forward, and it feels like you know exactly what track to go on, and that's where you are. And having 6 of Cups and 3 of Cups, I feel like this is something familiar to you. I don't see this epiphany feels like it highlights something that is not a foreign concept to you, but it was just something that needed to be realized. It's like one of those things that maybe was under your nose all along. And there's some deep spiritual insight that you gain from this. And it's also going to impact the way that you are maneuvering through things. And I do get the sense of relationships being somehow involved in this too. It feels like a moment of, in the book, such a classic story. It's like with the porridge, like this one is too hot, this one's too cold, this one's just right. I feel like you find your just right, and that it clarifies some important things for you. And within that, you're like, oh, this is the way. This is the porridge. It's something that's being chosen where it just makes sense, and it feels like it will be like a feeling of coming home in a way. That will be the sense of it. And there's something really important about you that you understand through this process. And I think too, what you give power to as well can be part of this too. And I think also the authority that you have, which I even feel like you have been like maybe looking for this authority, and what's realized is that it's you. Something about that that's being discovered here. What you're giving power to. What you're believing in. It does feel like a reconnection that's happening. You're going to primarily, like first and foremost, this is going to be a reconnection with yourself and your inner authority. And then that will have a butterfly effect. And it feels too like if stuff was going on and things weren't feeling right, like things had just been feeling off, like this is the key to things feeling on, like the way that they're actually supposed to. And recognizing that you can have that is really something that is tangible for you. It's not just this foreign concept. All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.